All right, everybody. Welcome to the dawn of a new, unified Republican government. Feels really good to say that, actually. This will be a government focused on turning President-elect Trump's victory into real progress for the American people. Our team is very excited, and we cannot wait to get to work. At the same time, we recognize that the task ahead of us is enormous. If we are going to put our country back on the right track, we have got to be bold and we have to go big. This country is expecting absolutely no less. In the days and weeks ahead, we will be working very closely with the President-elect and his transition team to lay out our ambitious path for 2017. That team, of course, is led by Vice President-elect Mike Pence, and it includes several of our own members. So we're working hand in glove from the start. We want to make sure that we hit the ground running in January so that we can deliver on the new president's agenda. A better way, better days lie ahead for our country.
A lot of new faces here. What a difference 1 week makes. And in doing so, as the speaker talked about, we were working very closely with President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Mike Pence. And part of that is how we move forward, how we accomplish the promises made, and the American public expects it to happen. Yesterday, all the committee chairs and myself sent a letter to all the government agencies requesting that no new regulations be moved forward. This is not a new request. This request actually happened when Barack Obama won. Rahm Emanuel sent the same letter. It's now time to change the tide, to get the economy moving, to get a health care plan that actually works, and get America back on the right track.
We got these hats at conference today, and it's not just a great slogan, but inside the tag you see Made in the USA. There are going to be a lot more things made in the USA when this new administration comes in. You know, we've been talking to President-elect Trump, to Vice President-elect Pence, and what an exciting opportunity that the American people have given us to work and go do the things that are necessary to get our country back on track. Our members are excited about this opportunity, and we're going to continue working in the weeks ahead to lay out and plan that first 100 days and then the months after that are going to be so critical to moving this country forward again, rebuilding the middle class that spoke out so loudly, and finally getting our economy and our country back on track. So it's an exciting time. We know there's a lot of work ahead, but that's why we ran for Congress, is to have a moment like this where we can go big and go bold and pass the conservative solutions that are going to get our country back on track.
This opportunity that the people have entrusted with us to advocate and to lead on their behalf is truly humbling. But it isn't a time for victory laps or to pat ourselves on the back. It's a time to turn this victory into real progress for the American people. It's the time to think big, to reimagine this government, and to return the people's voice to the center of it. Because there's too many people all across this country that feel like they're doing all the right things. They're working hard. They're paying the bills. They're trying to pay their mortgage every month, and they're still falling behind. Obamacare is making health care too expensive. The VA isn't listening. Government is regulating jobs out of their lives. Our unified Republican government will take these frustrations we're hearing and work together with President-elect Trump to change the status quo. We've got bold, specific agenda items that will make a difference in people's lives, and it will address some of the biggest challenges of our time. Now, I believe each plank in the Better Way agenda is very important. But this election reminded me that at the end of the day, Article 1 of our Constitution is what protects the people's voice in our government, and it's our role, it's our mission to restore that voice.
The American people have sent Republicans back to Washington with a mandate for change. We have a government united together with the purpose of bringing common sense principles back to our nation's capital. Since the beginning of this year, we've traveled across the country, getting your feedback on our Better Way agenda. This set of legislative priorities is tailored to the problems facing our country that focus on empowering hardworking Americans to achieve success. Foremost among our priorities will bring be bringing balance back to our broken tax code by building a simpler, fairer, flatter code, building a code that advantages all Americans, not just the well-connected, a code that drives investment and job creation right here in America, a code that gets America growing through good old-fashioned private sector investment. It's clear that Kansans and the American people are ready for a change. With their voice as our guide, we are ready to work as a unified government to help build an opportunity economy for all Americans.
Questions?
You urge people to judge the president-elect by the decisions he's already made. What about the Bannon decision? What does this say about the Trump administration, and how do you respond to the serious concerns and fears about bringing Steve Bannon into the White House?
Look, I would just simply say that the president is going to be judged on his results. This is a person who helped him win an incredible victory, an incredible campaign. The president's going to be judged on the results of this administration. That's why we're very eager to get up and running, to help him with his transition, to get up and running, and then to make progress on the mandate that has just been given to us by the American people. So we're confident about moving forward. We're confident about the transition, and we're very, very excited about getting to work for the American people.
When will you move on a fiscal 17 budget resolution, and how could that affect the appropriations process in the White House?
Those are decisions that are being made with the transition team. None of those decisions have been made yet. We are now sitting down with the Trump administration in waiting, along with our colleagues, to come up with our game plan for lame duck, and also to come up with our game plan for 2017. It's very exciting. We've got a lot of work to do, and we're having constant conversations about how to do that, but we haven't made any of those specific decisions yet.
Any timetable on when you will?
Manu.
Mr. Speaker, the president-elect has signaled that he was going to use his adult children as his advisors in his administration. Do you have any concerns about them potentially getting security clearances, number one? And two, should Trump take any steps to ensure there are no conflicts of interest between them running
Look,
these businesses and
I'll let the transition team comment about those things. We're focused on doing our job right here in Congress. I would say, look at this. Donald Trump is a multi-billionaire, successful businessman who has been so successful because he's surrounded himself with good people. He is a man who has made great successes, created tens of thousands of jobs, because he gets good advice from good people who are around him in his life. What's wrong with that? That's a good thing. We're going to focus on doing our job here in Congress. He's going to focus on populating his administration, and we're going to do everything we can to help him be as successful as he's going to be, and which I think he's going to be a very successful president. We have an exciting agenda. We have a transition team that we're working with, and we're very excited about getting to work for the American people. Juan.
Mr. Speaker, Steve Bannon has personally come after you. His publication has tried to unseat you in your primary. He's written about your children in the past, or his publication has written about your children and questioned your school decisions. He's mocked your Catholicism. Do you think that at any point he's crossed?
I'm not worrying about. I'm not looking backwards. I'm looking forward. I'm looking to the future, and I'm looking forward to how we make this work for the American people. How we help President-elect Trump be the most successful president in our lifetimes. How we make good on the promises and get this country going again. Look, you've heard me say this so many times. 70% of the people in this nation think America is going down the wrong path. They now just said, get on a better way, get on a better path. That's our job. Our job is not to look backwards. Our job is to look forward. Make President-elect Trump as successful as possible, help him with the transition so we can make good on our commitment to the American people to fix this country's big problems. Casey.
You built your career on reforming entitlements, a lot of conservative ideas. Donald Trump just won on a platform that in many ways is not terribly conservative. Are you prepared to lead a charge on those ideas?
Look, we're excited about. We're on the same page with our president-elect. I talk with Donald Trump virtually every single day. I spoke with Mike Pence this morning. We are on the same page. We're working hand in glove, and we're going to make sure that this is a very successful administration. But more importantly, we're going to make sure that the voices we heard from this election for the American people are acted upon, that we actually fix these country's problems. You take a look at, to get to your specific point, if you take a look at what Obamacare did to our entitlement programs, it made them worse. We're going to fix that. We're going to help fix these problems that are plaguing this country, whether it's skyrocketing healthcare costs, lack of jobs, regulatory red tape that's strangling jobs and businesses, fixing our national security, securing our border. These are all things that we are excited about, rolling up our sleeves and getting to work with our incoming president to make good on his promises.
Last question. Trump ran on a platform to spend $1 trillion in roads, bridges, infrastructure. House Republicans
We're going to work on all of these things in the transition. Just as I asked the question about budget reconciliation, budget processes, these are things that we're working on with the transition. So it's going to take time to figure out exactly what bill comes where and how it all adds up, but that's what the congressional process is all about. The point is, Donald Trump wants jobs. I've talked to Donald so many times just this week, which is let's make sure we get people back to work. Let's make sure we get this economy growing. Let's take all this uncertainty out of the economy that's plaguing it and get people back to work. This is something we share. This is something we're excited about working on with Donald Trump. And that is why I'm very confident that we're going to have a unified government that works hand in glove with this administration to make good on the commitments and to get people back to work and fix this country's problems. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.